Greetings, everyone. Welcome back. It is the Doctor, and we are continuing our level of Ensign Ricky from 50 to 60. And in the last mission, we did a bunch of patrols. And after some user feedback, comments from the last video, I've decided that I am going to go ahead and continue the Kobali Prime storyline as well. Kobali Prime, obviously, I'm in the wrong sector block for that, but as I stated in that video, the Kobali Prime storyline missions are separate of the main Delta Rising storyline missions here, but there is an overall storyline with Kobali Prime, especially considering the Vaadwaur and why they're on Kobali Prime in this trench war instead of just bombing the planet from above. And apparently some people have said that the storyline does tie in with the main storyline of the Delta Quadrant story missions. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and play the Kobali Prime story missions as well as they unlock. They unlock at certain levels, just like the main storyline. For example, now that I'm 54, I believe a new mission has opened up on Kobali Prime for me, and further ones will open up as I progress in level, just like these missions will become available as I progress in level. So what I'll do is I'll do a kind of a back and forth. I'll do a couple of main storyline missions, and then we'll go to Kobali Prime and catch up on those storyline missions until we reach the cap. And then we will come back to the main storyline missions and do those couple, and then go back to the Kobali one and do that, and hopefully it'll all even out and keep pace with itself. We'll find out. It'll also help me to level up, because after this mission, All That Glitters, our next one requires me to be level 55, and I know this mission's not going to take me to 55, so doing those Kobali Prime missions anyway will help me get the skill points I need to get to 55, so it's beneficial to do them anyway, because I'm going to need those skill points regardless. So we might as well do it concurrently. I will label the videos differently. I will label them the Kobali Front, and then the name of the mission. And that way you can tell which ones are the main storyline missions and which ones are the ones coming from Kobali Prime. And I'll explain that again once I do that, which will actually probably be the next video after this one, that I go back to Kobali Prime and do the next mission. But for right now, we're going to do the next storyline mission in our list here. We did With Friends Like These previously. That was a bunch of patrols. Now it's time for All That Glitters. It requires 54. We are 54. We're good to go. It says, join the Doctor to respond to a medical emergency, and you'll have to deal with more than a virus. So it looks like we're going to meet up with the good Doctor. This is what I'm looking forward to. Robert Picardo back in Star Trek.
Are you familiar with Voyager's emergency medical hologram? He's quite unique, even for an old EMH Mark I. Now he holds rank in Starfleet in his own right. We've received a message that the Doctor requires assistance to deal with a medical situation on an Ocampa freighter in the Shenda system. He's currently en route in one of Voyager's shuttles. Normally I'd send a medical vessel, but we've seen a spike in Vaadwaur attacks, and I want to make sure he has all the resources he'll need. Could you go to the Shenda system and assist the Doctor?
Why, yes, the Doctor will assist the Doctor. And it looks like we get a personal reward called EMH Mark I. That is very cool. That is going to be a duty officer, not a bridge officer, unfortunately. But wouldn't that be cool to have the EMH Mark I as a bridge officer? Anyway, and we'll also get a career-specific Mark 13 kit reward. This is our first Mark 13 reward. No, we did have a shield reward. I take that back. We had a Mark 13 shield thingy. But this will be a kit reward. That'll be interesting. Alright, I'm looking forward to seeing what that duty officer is all about there. Alright, accept. Let's go meet the good Doctor. Go to the Shenda system, which is Not even in this sector block. Good old Transwarp 29.9. This should be exciting. We only have seen the Doctor so far in Mindscape, where he was an evil kind of Doctor in Tuvok's mind. Basically, he was Cooper. So it's good to see what he is up to now. The Shinda system is down here. And he's with the Ocampo, which is interesting. I also find it interesting he's traveling by shuttlecraft, apparently from Voyager, so I don't think he's assigned to Voyager anymore. He kind of has his own career going in Starfleet, maybe. And but maybe he's back on Voyager now, while Voyager's out here. I don't know, maybe we'll get some background on what's been happening with the Doctor. Alright, begin all that glitchers. We have arrived in the Shinda system, Captain. The distress signal is coming from the transport dead ahead, but we've received no response to our hails. I'll keep trying, but perhaps our guest knows more. The emergency medical hologram known as the Doctor is in a nearby shuttle and awaiting our hail. I didn't know we were having a distress call. Didn't say anything about that, but apparently we are getting a distress call. I really need to fix her. Her eyes really bother me. I don't know, something weird. My Human Science 1. Great name, huh? I think after this video I'll go into the tailor and give her a little bit of a makeover. She's odd looking. Okay, take us to the Doctor's shuttle. And he's in a Type 8 shuttle. Of all things, probably the worst shuttle to be in the Delta Quadrant. He could have at least taken a Delta Flyer. He is in a Type 8 shuttle. He does not have much chance to survive. Make his time. Move Zig. Hail
Pleased to meet you. I scanned your service record before your arrival. You've been in quite a few battles, haven't you? Ever stop to think about the strain you're putting on your medical crew before you charge into combat? Of course you don't. No captain ever does.
Sounds like the Doctor. Nice to meet you, Doctor. I'm also the Doctor.
We've been hailing this Ocampan freighter for some time, but we're not getting a response, and our sensors cannot penetrate their shields. Their initial distress signals indicated that they were suffering from Paraniste measles. I can treat it easily, if I can get onto the ship. Now that your ship is here, it should be trivial to board the vessel and assess the situation. Transport me aboard your vessel, and then my shuttle can return to Voyager.
Okay, well, that's great. First of all, I just want to say about his voice acting here. Sounds a little nasally to me, just my opinion. Prepare for transport.
Excellent. Your ship has more powerful sensors than my shuttle.
Okay, good. I believe that. So your shuttle's just going to fly back to Voyager by itself, I guess. That's neat. Alright, an Ocampan freighter. Scan disabled ship.
Warning. Ship is
Vodwar ships. Oh, I'm being held in place by, what is this? A constriction anchor. Oh, that is really unique. I don't like it.
Target shields have failed.
More Vodwar ships.
Target shields have failed.
Well, they aren't playing around.
shields have failed.
Hold your fire. I am Gaul, leader of the Vaudois.
Oh, really? Gaul? I heard his name before. I guess that's the leader they've been talking about. I was doing quite well there. Why are we at a ceasefire all of a sudden? Also, I like that constriction anchor. It reminds me of the tractor mines that the Romulans use. Tractor beam mines.
Greetings. I am Gaul, leader of the Vaudois supremacy. I apologize for the overzealousness of my soldiers. This action was not authorized.
I am Admiral Ensign Ricky, even though it's contradictory, of the Tom Baker.
I'm pleased to finally meet you. It appears your presence here in the Delta Quadrant has inadvertently caused some conflict between us. I would rather avoid any more unpleasantness. Would you be willing to meet with me face to face?
Yes, but I've found such talks are best on neutral grounds.
That is understandable. Do you have a location in mind? There are not many areas of the Delta Quadrant where my people are not reviled.
I might know a place. I will be back with you in a moment. So they want to talk to me, do they? Find that interesting. Alright, hail Neelix on subspace.
Oh, what a wonderful surprise! Is there anything I can do for you?
Hello, Neelix. We need a neutral place for a diplomatic negotiation with the Vaudois, and I was wondering if you could help. Ooh, we're going to get Neelix's help here.
Diplomatic negotiations? I am Starfleet's ambassador to the Delta Quadrant. I would be more than happy to offer my services as mediator. As for the location, Dexa and most of our people are on New Talax now, but we still have the asteroid base in the Intaba system. It's mostly empty now, just a few cleanup crews, and the Kazon have been leaving it alone. It would be perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Or the asteroid base sounds perfect. Your diplomatic assistance, however, no need to trouble yourself. Oh, come on. Let's be nice to Neelix. For now, at least.
Well, did you find a suitable location for our meeting?
Yeah, there's an asteroid base in the Intaba system that the Talaxians have been using.
Talaxians? Are there still Talaxian communities? How odd. The site is agreeable. Send my ship the coordinates and I will meet you there.
You're not very nice. Coordinates sent. We'll take you there.
I'm contacting the closest medical ship. They can investigate this further while we meet with Gaul.
Yes, excellent idea, Doctor. Let's just leave the Ocampans here to fend for themselves. Least we could do is leave behind a few crew members to help them. Sir, we have arrived in the Intaba system. Gaul's ship is already here, and he has transported down to the base. How did he beat me here? Fly to asteroid.
Imagine using a medical emergency as a trap. The Vaudois have no shame.
Oh, so the
I don't
thing
trust
is
Gaul.
fake.
He betrayed us on Vaudois Prime. He'll do it again.
Oh yeah, he was in the. I guess he was in the episode, the original Voyager.
It's good to
episode.
see you again so soon. If I might make a suggestion, I would recommend only bringing 2 crew members with your away team. Gaul brought 4 aides. You'll have the doctor and myself, and bringing more of your crew down might look like you're trying to get an advantage on him. Gaul seems very touchy. Proper protocol will be important. Are you ready to beam down?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's take my healer. We never know what we're going to have. Let's take Neelan Exel, even though he's a science officer. I probably should have attack with me, but let's take Neelix because he's a Voth and he looks intimidating. Just for that reason, we'll take him. And Neelix
It's
is
so good
here.
to see. Doctor, it's been 30 years. You haven't aged a day.
Yes, it's good to see you too, Neelix.
We have a bit of time before we'll begin. We're giving the Vaudwar a fine Talaxian feast to help ease the tension. Doctor, you must tell me all you've been up to.
Oh, Neelix, I couldn't. Not with the Vaudwar here. But I
Just
suppose
kiss
it
and
is
get it
important
over
that you
with.
hear about my many achievements since our last meeting. And my brilliant research was able to prove conclusively. Thus, I began my grand adventure into the challenge of writing Klingon opera.
Well, Brax and I agreed to never mention the incident again. Well, at least not to Dexa.
Neelix, the Vaudwar have finished the appetizers and are waiting for you.
Oh, well, we had better get going. We can talk more later.
Uh-huh. Okay, well that was interesting. I guess they had a lot to talk about while I was just standing around letting the Vaudwar fester. Cool. Just trying to think. All that time and the Doctor still hasn't reprogrammed himself with hair. And he also still doesn't have a name, because he's just called the Doctor.
Do you remember Chef Jolax from the last time you were here? He's the one that has been serving the Vaudwar their fabulous appetizers. Full bellies make for good conversation, I always say. He told me that Gaul is a little grumpy, but I'm sure you can handle him. Gaul is in the command room now, waiting for us. Jolax should be back soon to take everyone's orders for the main course.
Thank you, Neelix. Let's go speak with Gaul. Guess I'm leading the way. Nice. Got Neelix and the Doctor on my team. So I guess there's still some Talaxians here. Aha, Vaudwar Tech Commando, Vaudwar Commando, Vaudwar Tech Commando. And Gaul. Talk to Gaul.
Ah, at last. I must say your Talaxian friends are quite hospitable. But down to business. Our meeting is long overdue.
Indeed, it's time to settle our differences.
As do I. My people are damaged, in crisis. We are already at war with the Kobali, and with you, giving your alliance's support for them.
Then let us try to find an accord that benefits us both.
Do you know why we fight the Kobali? Their world was once a Vaudwar colony, one of our largest. And there is still a large cache of stasis tubes on the planet. Those are my brothers and sisters being held hostage. The Kobali are stealing them, taking their very identities and transforming them.
Oh! Holy crap! Well, that explains a lot. Could this be the answer to the big storyline, then, on Kobali Prime? If so, they revealed it quite early here, level 54, and I know that on the Kobali Prime missions, there was only one mission available until you hit level 54, and then more were available. But I assume most people are going to play the main storyline missions, so I guess we're coming to this realization way before we should, or I don't know. So, okay, so we know that the Vaudwar were in these stasis tubes, because that's how Voyager found them. They awoke them. That was the Vaudwar homeworld. But we've also learned through the playing of this game that there were hundreds of worlds where these stasis tubes were. So there were lots of Vaudwar out there that Voyager didn't even know about. And apparently the Kobali homeworld, or the Kobali world, was also a Vaudwar colony. And we also have learned already the Kobali world that they're on right now is not the original Kobali homeworld. They just settled that world. So basically, I guess after the Vaudwar left and were gone, the Kobali settled this Vaudwar colony world. And I don't know if the Kobali know that there's Vaudwar stasis tubes in there on that planet or not. But it sounds like they do, according to Gaul here. They're holding the Vaudwar hostage and transforming them into more Kobali because I guess they think they're dead, even though they're not. They're just in stasis. Yeah, that could be tricky because for the Vaudois, first of all, those people are not dead. They're just in stasis. They were live people put into stasis. So they're not dead, and the Kobali only transform the dead. But if the Kobali are transforming Vaudois that were in stasis, then they're not transforming the dead. They're actually transforming the living that was just put in stasis, which means the Kobali would be in the wrong here. That's my process of thinking on this. And if they're holding them hostage and not letting the Vaudois free, then I can see why the Vaudois would want to try to take over the planet instead of just bombarding it from space. That could be the whole big reveal about the Kobali Prime and what's going on there. That would make total sense. If my thought process is correct on that issue, then I have to say the Kobali are the ones in the wrong, because they're transforming living people into Kobali instead of dead people like they usually do. And the Vaudois are owed their people, even if they're at war. That's not a good thing to do. That's not an ethical thing to do. Even in war, there are rules. So the Kobali are in the wrong. So I think if there are any options here, I think I'm going to side with the Vaudois on this. I'm kind of with them, you know. The Kobali are wronging you. Okay. They won't return the remaining tubes?
The Kobali would rather watch us die and use our corpses as fuel for their unnatural corruption. Is it wrong to fight against your own extinction? Don't we have a right to survive as well?
I agree. If they are using your people and waiting until they die to use them, then that is wrong. That should not be allowed. Alright, there must be a way we can end this peacefully. This war will scar the Quadrant for decades.
There can be no peace. Not after what they've done. Are you suggesting we are weak? That we should just lay down and die for them?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
We will not.
But destroying the Kobali isn't right either. There are greater threats in the galaxy we must face. That much is certainly true. The Iconians are out there.
Do not try to pacify me. We will have our retribution. You have my offer. Abandon your alliance with the Kobali and support us, and we will be your strongest ally in the Quadrant.
I kind of want an option here that says, yes, I will join you. Because that's how I feel right now, based on my analysis. But I'm only presented with one option. I can only say I'm not here to start a war with the Kobali.
Peace. You know nothing of what it means to be Vaudois. You need to understand.
I'm kind of with you, dude. I don't like the options I'm being presented with, but I have no option but to say, what do you mean? Oh, great.
The Vaudois have endured too much to make peace. Do you expect us to forget the destruction of our cities? The massacres of our people?
The food's almost ready. What would you all like for your main course?
You need to understand even the smallest fraction of our anger.
Oh, he's dead. I guess we're having you for dinner.
He's dead. I'm sorry.
He's dead, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
Does that make you angry, Talaxian?
No, it makes me sad. For Jolex. And for you.
Then we are not done.
Oh, we're gonna fight now, aren't we? I don't want to fight.
What the? Oh no.
Well, they're dead. Okay. Well, that went not as expected. Can I heal him? I don't have anything to heal him with. Contact your ship. Admiral, the entire Vodwar fleet is opening fire on the remaining Talaxian ships. We've sent out distress signals to every ship in range. We'll do what we can to protect the Talaxians, but we can't hold out against this many ships. What happened? Explain the situation. That's horrible. Do you think Gaul had any intention of negotiating in good faith, or was this all an act? We're giving the Talaxians all the time we can to escape, but it's not looking good up here, sir. Some of the Vodwar have already broken off to pursue them. Your orders? I need a tactical strike team at my location immediately, or I need a scan of the base. Are any Talaxians left alive? Scans show 2 large groups of Talaxians in a storage room in the logistics area. They have the doors blocked, but there are Vodwar trying to get in both locations. It doesn't look good, Captain. I'm afraid you will only have time to rescue 1 group. Do your best to save the Talaxians, no matter what. Starfleet will not let more innocents die today.
Time only to save 1 group? I do not envy your choice. I would go with you, but I cannot leave Neelix alone. And time is of the essence. I'm afraid you'll have to go on without us.
Very well. Make sure to get Neelix.
No, I'm going. I can't sit by and let the Vodwar kill my friends. I won't be a burden. I promise. I have to do this.
Stay close to me, Neelix, and I'll ensure your safety. Defeat Vodwar in the cargo bay. 2 groups. Alright, I guess we're gonna fight.
Flanking damage detected.
I wonder what weapons they're using. They're using some very unique looking abilities.
Personal shield losing power.
I haven't seen those color patterns before.
How do we choose who to save?
Choose which group to save. That group? Or that group? Well, I have no idea. What's the difference between the 2 groups? Can I save both groups somehow? Is there like a hidden 3rd option maybe? I wonder. That would be really cool if there was a hidden 3rd option. There are some games out there like that. They say choose this or that, but then there's a hidden 3rd option. So I'm just double checking. Maybe they've done that here. Maybe not. I mean, you know, it's possible we have to choose, but I just want to check it out, the possibility. I would love... I can't go in there. That's closed. There are Vodwar in there, but I can't get to them. That's interesting. Okay, let's go back in this room real quick. Just double check all my options. Oh, I can't go back in here. No turbo lift off. Well, darn it. I have to choose, don't I? I don't know. Left or right, left or right. Let's just choose this one, I guess. Open door to save Talaxians in the storage room. Let's see what this door says. Open door to save Talaxians in logistics. Well, I don't know what to do. Oh, let's just do this one. Defeat the Vodwar in the storage room.
We've saved the hostages, but they may be safer here.
Stay here, hostages.
What about the people in logistics?
Well, you said we could only save one. Okay, maybe we can save both. How did you get here?
Personal shield losing power.
We should check to see if any of the Talaxians survived. I don't even know where they are. They are nowhere. Oh, here they are.
Doctor, you have to save them. These are my friends.
All he's doing
They are
is
beyond my help now, Neelix.
scanning.
I'm sorry.
Well, I wonder what choosing the other door would have done.
Then we can still save the others. We have to get to the shuttle in the cargo bay.
I wonder what choosing the other door would have done. Cargo bay. Hello.
Shield losing power.
That took care of them.
Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected.
I've sent a signal to the remaining Talaxians to join us here as soon as possible.
Okay. And here they are.
More Vodwar on the way! Defend the shuttle!
Enemy targets on sensor.
More on the way. If I weren't a hologram, I'd be worried.
Huh. Well, I'm not a hologram. And I'm not worried either, because they're not that difficult.
A large number of Vodwar are closing in. I'm afraid they may be too much for you to handle.
I do like...
The Teray are here to assist. After this, our debt to you is repaid.
Oh, the Teray are here to help. That's kind of neat.
That's timely. Here come the Vodwar.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Yeah, they have some really unique abilities. I wonder what they all are. Things are going by too fast for me to look and find out.
The Vodwar have been repelled. I would have words with you before you continue.
You will, huh?
Our help does not mean we are now allies. We are repaying a debt. Our ships are currently engaging the Vodwar fleet. It is unsafe for this shuttle to launch until they are defeated. We will return to our ships. I suggest you do the same. We will provide cover for your ship so it may drop shields to transport you.
We appreciate the help, Commander. Yes, let's beam up.
I knew this meeting was a farce. The word Vodwar means fool in ancient Talaxian. Did you know that? You thought me a fool who would swallow your insults without comment. A fool who would blunder into the trap you set with the Teray. I am not.
You're the one who did this, Gaul, not me.
This has destroyed any chance of an accord between us.
Ah,
How disappointing.
and I was with you, too.
I had thought you would be a valuable ally. Now you are just another
I
victim.
don't like the options. It kind of forced me going into one path. Alright, we did everything we could to make peace with you, Gaul. You're the one who destroyed it.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Target's shields have failed. Rear shields failing. Fore shields failing. Left shield failing. Hull integrity below 75%. Target's shields have failed. Right shield's failing.
Voyager is here. We will not allow the Vaadwaur to escape.
Wow, there are a lot of them.
Rear shield's failing. Target's shields have failed.
Look at that, I had to use miracle
Hull
healing.
integrity below 75%.
This is an intense battle, even for my ship. Did I do it? Yeah, I did.
You came to our aid when the Vaadwaur attacked our homeworld. Now we have come to assist you. This discharges our obligation.
Thank you for your assistance. Perhaps we can be allies someday.
How could they do something so horrible? We're no threat to them. We've done nothing but welcome them. And he killed my friends just to make a statement. I don't understand how anyone would be so callous.
I am so sorry, Neelix.
I don't blame you. I agreed to let the Vaadwaur come here. I put my people in danger. This is my responsibility. I just never conceived that even the Vaadwaur could be so treacherous. They double-crossed us on Voyager and tried to take the ship, but slaughtering innocent people. My time on Voyager changed me. I saw the best that people could be. I forgot, or wanted to forget, how evil they could be.
Neelix, I promise you that Gaul will face justice for what he's done.
With your permission, I'll lead the survivors back to New Talax. Then we can return with a security force to collect the dead.
I've been in
Farewell.
contact with the USS Blackwell. They boarded the freighter in the Shenda system, but it was empty. It was all a ruse by the Vaadwaur to lure us into that system. Everything was part of this play Gaul wanted to perform, from the initial distress call to his intervention and offer to negotiate. And then he used a massacre to set his stage. That's the kind of man he is, and unless he's stopped, the entire quadrant may fall.
Let us hope it does not come to that, Doctor.
Gaul has shown his true nature. I expected he was not dealing in good faith. But nevertheless, we had to make an attempt to find a peaceful solution to our problems with the Vaadwaur. Now the war will continue. I grieve for all who have been lost, and for those who will fall before this conflict ends.
We had to try.
Senseless, meaningless death. I'll never understand. I hope Neelix and his people will be able to find some peace, and that Gaul will answer for his crimes. And I hope our paths cross again, perhaps under better circumstances next time. With your permission, I'll return to Voyager.
Permission granted. Farewell, Doctor. It has been an honor. The Talaxian base is safe for now, and the surviving Talaxians are making their way to New Talax. Let us depart. I have a lot to say about this episode, because I'm not sure what to believe now. Okay, let's turn this in, and then we'll talk about this episode.
Gaul's actions were unconscionable. A senseless slaughter simply to make a point. And he wanted your sympathy. It's clear from your reports he had no intention of making peace, and that he would have twisted anything you said to meet his own agenda. He's a warmonger, and one that must be stopped. Peace with the Vaadwaur will not be attained through Gaul, but we'll keep looking for another way. Perhaps there's someone else out there who will be more reasonable.
Let's take our rewards, and we'll look at those two in a second. And we are right here now, so yes, I still will need to do some more XP grinding to get to 55. Okay, so that was an interesting episode, or mission there. Let's talk about that, because I'm not sure what to believe. The Ocampa thing was a ruse to get us out there, to get our attention, and then to get us to some kind of, quote, meeting, and then kick our butts. If that's true, he could have completely been lying about what's happening on Kobali, on the Kobali homeworld, about that being a previous Vaadwaur colony and them holding Vaadwaur in stasis, or using the Vaadwaur in stasis as to turn them into Kobalis. He could be totally lying about that just because he wanted to get us out here to maybe test our mettle. Maybe he's testing us. Maybe he wants to see what Starfleet's got up its sleeve. You know, he wanted to see how powerful we are, and maybe if any allies would come to our rescue, and he would have found out that the Tare did come to our rescue. So he knows now that we have an ally that may be on our side, another ally on our side, not his side. So maybe it was just all a test to see where we stand. In that case, he could be completely lying about what he said about the Kobali homeworld, and none of it means anything. On the other hand, he could be completely telling the truth. Now, here's where it gets into a gray area. If he's telling the truth about what's happening on the Kobali world, then the Kobali are in the wrong for what they're doing. I stand by that. However, Gaul is also in the wrong, very in the wrong, for just outright killing a Talaxian with no purpose other than to show you I'm the boss, I'm the man, you know, just a show of force, just to kill a guy like that. So Gaul is not a good guy. The Vaadwaur are obviously being led by a bad guy. He's, quote, evil in this universe. He's the bad guy because he just kills without remorse, without sympathy, kills for no reason. We've seen he can do that. So he is a bad guy. But on the other hand, if it's true about what the Kobali are doing, they're also the bad guy. So if that's true, and I don't know that it is, but if it is, then that means we got two bad guys. We got the Kobali being bad, and we got the Vaadwaur being bad, and they're battling each other being bad. They're both bad, and they're both fighting each other. Now, if he's lying, then the Vaadwaur are just bad, and the Kobali are not bad. I don't know the truth. So it could go either way there. As far as the Federation is concerned, we really need to get more answers about what's going on, especially on the Kobali homeworld. Is it true that what he said? If it's true, that changes things. If it's not, then he's just a bad guy anyway. So that is very interesting. I don't know what to make of it yet until it's revealed. So maybe it is very important that we go ahead and do those Kobali Prime missions as they become available to help us level up, because I need to anyway. And we'll use that as skill points, and we'll start to unravel the Kobali Prime homeworld storyline. That way we can get to the bottom of it and see what's really going on. So after this mission, or now that this mission is over, I will go to Kobali Prime and we will do a couple of Kobali Prime missions. And only what it takes to get to level 55 though. And if I run out of them, then I'll have to go do something else to get to level 55, because our next mission requires us to be 55, and that's called Know Your Enemies. So we need to be 55 for that. So I've got to do stuff anyway to get to 55. So I might as well do the Kobali Prime stuff. That'll help unravel that. Another thought occurred to me as I was fighting the Vaadwaur just now in this mission. I was looking at some of their powers they were using. Not necessarily, I don't know what they're using, but I was noticing the color patterns and everything used. If you notice, some of their ground weapons and their space weapons have this shadowy color to them. It's like a purplish, shadowy color. It's purple in color, but then it has like this puff of smoke or puff of shadow or whatever you want to call it attached to that weapon effect. And if you recall, that is a very similar color pattern to the Iconians. Well, at least what we've seen in the game, Star Trek Online. Anytime we've seen them, especially in that one featured episode where the Iconians appear at the end of that episode and they pop out and say, you are blah blah blah, and they like hold up the Klingons in the air and all and say, you cannot defeat us, blah blah blah. They have that kind of purplish shadowy pattern they emerge from. And anytime we've seen an Iconian ship in the game, which we have seen an Iconian ship, one of the missions had it. I don't know if it still does, but it was a mission under the Borg missions. An Iconian ship would appear and destroy a cube with like one blast and then disappear, fade out. But when you looked at that ship, it was purplish in color, and then it had like smoke around it, like a shadowy smoke around it. So that seems to be the Iconian's color pattern. So if we go simply by that, it almost looks like the Iconians have maybe given the Vaadwaur some technology, or boosted their technology. And maybe that could explain why the Vaadwaur have all of a sudden had this gigantic technology boost, where they've gone from 900-year-old ships and technology to now rivaling the Federation and any other species, and the Borg and the Voth and all that. They're taking out fleets, real easy. They can take out a Borg fleet, they can take out a Voth fleet. They are really, really tough enemies all of a sudden. And the only thing that could explain that is somebody giving them technology, or giving them a bump up in technology. Maybe not to the same level as the Iconians, but maybe the Iconians have given them just a bump up in technology above what we have and stuff like that. So that's a potential. Now, I'm not saying that's true because I don't know, but I could see that being a possibility. If that is true, that would be very cool. But again, I hope to find out by the end of the storyline missions how the Vaadwaur have got that bump up in technology. Anyway, those are just my theories and thoughts. You can leave your own, but please don't spoil it for me. That's all I ask. Don't spoil it for me, because I want to be surprised. I really, really do. Well, thank you all for watching all that Glitors. That was very interesting, and I guess in the next video we will do some Kobali Prime stuff before we get to Know Your Enemies, because I need to be 55 and I am more than halfway away from that. So, okay, well, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.